Welcome to Sick Invite, everybody. I'm Dipper, and then I have my host, Nick Jones, who does the voice of Chowder. How you doing today, Nick?
Doing great.
I'm glad to have you on. I'm going to pretend like we haven't been friends for a while and try to go into this with a clean slate in my mind. So we'll we'll go from there. But I do have a question that's been on my mind about Chowder. Are you ready for it?
Go for it.
So in the car wash episode, whose car did you wash? Do you remember?
Oh, that would be... Oh, yeah, I do. That would be Lewis's car. He was the producer of the show. It was sort of like... I guess he drew the long straw, and whenever we were setting that up, you know, we just decided his car got chosen. I don't know how they actually chose it, but, like, I guess he needed to wash that day, and so he got his car washed for basically free.
I think it came out spick and span. When I was like watching, I was like, "That's a clean car." If you guys got done with it, I imagine you actually didn't wash the car, did you?
No, I don't think. From what I remember, I don't think any soap was actually involved. But you know, it got a good rinse at least.
And wasn't it Joe DiMaggio in that with you as well, washing a car?
Yes, John DiMaggio and Tara Strong and Dwight Schultz.
Tara Strong. I always forget Tara Strong is on that show with you. So we're gonna go through the history of your voice acting. I know about it because I've already picked your brain tons about it. But what was your first actual voice role? Because what I saw on IMDb was Flower from Bambi 2.
That is correct. That is technically my what I jokingly refer to as my big break. My big breakthrough role was Flower in Bambi 2. Absolutely.
Now, how did you get that role? Do you remember how that came about, or was it just kind of fell in your lap?
So well, the way I got that role is I want to say I don't think I was with CESD just yet, who they are the leaders of sort of like young performance actors in Los Angeles. I think I was still with a local agency, if I recall, the name being Pastorini Bosby. That was the woman's name. Super nice old lady who was just super duper sweet and super great to work with. I think they actually landed me. That I could be wrong on this, but if I remember correctly, it was so long ago. I was like 6 when I did it. They got me the audition, and I actually auditioned and did like 2 or 3 callbacks for Thumper. And then at the very last minute, they wanted me to audition for Flower. Like, they're like, oh, well, you know, they was like, we really want you as Thumper, but it's between you and this other kid. How about you read for Flower? And as I was doing the audition, from again, what I remember, I was so young, I think they actually ended up just giving me the whole script. They sent it over. I did the audition. I did the read for Flower after getting like 2 or 3 callbacks for Thumper, and then they just like, you know, they sent it over. I was still in the booth for a little bit. You know, there, you know, you just see them like, you know, talking, but you can't hear anything. And then after that, they just give me the whole script. It was like, all right, actually come back later today. Like, or it was either like later that day or like the very next day. They just like, yep, you got the part, and just you're gonna be. I already did, like, you know, because the way that movie works is, you know, it's like half when they're young and half when they're older. So of course I'm only in half the film, so I didn't have a tremendous amount of lines, but it's like, I basically read half the lines for the audition anyway, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe some of my actual, like, audition lines are takes that they use, because they recorded everything. I believe some of the audition lines that I had are just takes they ended up using in the film. It was so close to each other. It was like, again, the same, if not the same day, then the very, very next day. I've told that story as if I did it, as if my audition was the thing, but I don't think it was, but I do believe some of my audition takes actually did end up making it into the final film because it was so closely recorded to each other. So it's like a happy, you know, as Bob Ross would say, it was a happy accident, and, you know, hey, it was my big break, so I'm very appreciative of it.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick that you got to work on a Disney movie of all things, too, because, like, even though it was one of the Disney sequels, which aren't bad movies at all, but it's still really fucking cool that you got to work on those, and you're like, now you're part of Disney lore. Like, you are in a Disney movie, so you're part of the lore now. You're part of Bambi lore. How does that make you feel?
It's funny because I often forget it, but then sometimes because I did a convention where I was signing stuff, NostalgiaCon, and it was super fun, and it's great. Like 99% of it was, of course, chowder. Of course, there's no getting around that. It's my bread and butter, really. But it was amazing that I want to say 2 or 3 people came up with flower stuff for me to sign, and the first one that came up, I was like, oh my goodness, that's right. Sometimes I forget that I did do that, and it is interesting. It's actually and I remember somebody sending me this clip a long time ago, but it's something that I've already seen, and that is there's like a YouTube group called Red Letter Media that had the Mr. Plinkett Star Wars reviews. Great. And one of the Mr. Plinkett videos, he talks about unnecessary sequels, and like at the end of a big rant, he goes, Bambi 2, what the fuck? And it's like, I remember seeing that when that video came out. I forget which video it's in, but I remember seeing that and being like, oh my goodness, that's me, he's talking about me, kinda, in some weird way. And I just got such a big kick out of that when I was younger, and I've had people like send me that clip as an adult and be like, bro, Mr. Plinkett talked about you, kinda. I go, oh dude, I was there, man, it was crazy.
So we're friends, so it takes me everything in me not to be like, yo, dude, check out this chowder clip of someone fucking singing the dude on the boat, hey there, hey there.
Oh,
hey there.
Yeah.
Dude, that show's so quotable. It's very quotable to this day, and I think it's even funnier now that I'm an adult than when I was a teenager.
Oh, it's crazy, and like, obviously I didn't get. There are so many. Not only is it so quotable, there are so many jokes in there that, like, as a kid, you don't understand. But then when you hear them as an adult, you're like, oh my goodness, they got away with that? My gosh, that's awesome.
Now, were you on set the day that Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, did that voice for Hey There? Or was
yeah. I worked. The way how Chowder was done is we did it all in one booth, which is not at all how shows are recorded back anymore. But back in the day, at least at Cartoon Network, and for Bambi too, I was just all by myself. Again, it was like, part of my audition made it in the film, so did that all by myself. But the way how Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers did things back in the day is they actually did have everybody in the booth recording at once, and just like on-screen actors, you can work off each other, and it really does you get so much better performances when you're actually working off them naturally. Now you can work off a line like fed to you, or like a previous recording. I always say, like, for anime voice actors, the guy who records the episode last has the easiest time, because he has everyone else's performance to go off. But then the person doing it first has the hardest time, because he has nothing to go off except for the Japanese dialogue, where you get some inflections and whatnot for that. But for Chowder, man, we were all in the studio at once, and it was such a great time. I worked with Paul Rubens a number of times, and he was a great guy. He was so sweet. He's very quiet, but it's funny because he plays Pee Wee Herman, such a loud character, but he was such a quiet guy, but he was so sweet, and very like attentive to make sure that the people around him were doing good and doing well and everything. He was excellent to work with, and whenever he was, he would have such a way of delivering lines that were just like really made you laugh, like. Half the time, you gotta be quiet. You gotta shut up. But it's hard to with some of these actors, man, when they're just so naturally funny, and you're like, oh damn it, I can't help but laugh.
I would have died in the studio. Like, I love Paul Rubens, so it was cool that you actually got to like experience all these legendary voice actors too, because there's like an inflection of like guest stars on Chowder. Like, there is a lot of people that came through those doors. Like, it's even hard to remember how many actual people came on, but like almost every other episode there was a guest star involved, wasn't there?
It seemed like it, and like there were some crazy ones, like George Takei plays the not Mr. Fugu, but his cat, the cat that always meow 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 meow. That's fucking George Takei. Like, I got to meet George Takei, who was like every single time, he's exactly how you think he is. Like the way he talks and all his performances and everything, that's exactly how he talks, but it's not like an act. It's not like that's just how he is, and he's so cool to talk to. He's
an OG legend too. Like he
really is.
That's so cool that you've got that environment, because like most I think child voice actors don't get that type of like surroundingness of like when you're actually working with your co-stars. You actually get to see the inflection of emotion on their face, but also like you get to see their tone of voice in a live setting, and I feel like that's just easier to do.
Oh, it makes all the difference in the world. I've done both. I have done because for a while there, for like the third season of Chowder, I actually pretty much recorded that all in Houston, like remotely. It was still live. Like we were still all doing it at the same time, but I was just hearing them. I wasn't actually in the booth with them, and it absolutely changed the dynamic. And I remember like, breaks would be entirely different because instead of like, talking with, there were a couple times where Dwight or Tara stayed like they didn't go on like to the break room. They just brought like a snack in and like stayed on like the mic with me and talked with me and stuff. But it was definitely way different, and it felt like, I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword because I actually I grew up as an actor, so I think the third season has like probably my best performances, but it also was like the most. It was still very fun to record, but it was the most unfun to record because I felt very alone and very secluded because I was all the way still in Texas and, like not with everyone there. So I definitely, having experienced both dynamics on the same show, which is very, very rare, I can easily say that it's far, far much more doable and more fun whenever you're actually in the studio with people.
Now, that's sad to hear. Actually, I didn't. You get to see the inflections of just your evolvement. I lost my train of thought. The way you evolve from like where you're starting off with a group of people and then just kind of being in a booth by yourself. Did you go to a studio to do that, or did you just do it from like? Because with technology nowadays, like recording's pretty easy to do at home now.
Well, that was back in 2010, so it was very, very different. I went to a recording studio. Now, the recording studio was a house that was converted. It was this freaking awesome house in this nice, rich area in Houston that had so much cool stuff. I really wish I remember the studio's name because it was such a great time. And in pretty much every before I retired in 2012, 2013-ish. It was where I did all my work remotely. And it was such a great studio. It was a super duper nice house. It was like every single room was converted into a recording studio, and they had all this just really cool memorabilia. I mean, a wonderful kitchen with snacks, and they even had like at the time like a Wii with all the Wii games, which I never like. They always said, "Oh, just help yourself to all the snacks, and hell, on break play some Wii if you want." I never did because I was just like, I'm not gonna like play someone else's stuff while I'm on the job, even if it is break time. I don't. That's not me.
and being a dude with like a console, like you just want to have your own console. You don't want to mess with someone else.
Oh, I know. I don't want to get progression on Smash Brothers for somebody else. I want to go home and do that myself on my progression.
I want to unlock those characters my fucking self. I'm not doing it for you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Exactly.
So, what was your favorite episode of Chowder that you've done? Do you have one?
Oh, I do, and it's the one sort of little bit of self-promotion. If you ever get the chance to come see me at a convention, one of the things I sell is storyboard panels that I actually use because I have hundreds of thousands of them shits. So I sell storyboard panels. It's something unique. I want to be different to everyone, or I want to try to be different to everyone else. And so I'm selling storyboard panels, but one episode that I have the storyboard panel for, or the entire storyboard for, and the script for that I will never ever sell, is the Grubble Gum episode. That episode is easily my favorite. I love that episode so much because it is based on a game called Katamari Damacy that me and Carl C.H. Greenblatt, the creator of the show, which, I mean, it was a tie. It was everyone that I worked with was amazing, but him and Dwight were like a toss up as my work besties. They're who I talked to the most. You know, Dwight of course played Mugdal, so it makes sense. And I connected so well with everyone, but they're easily the people that I talked to the most, and had so much interaction with them. Carl was great because me and him would talk, we'd have discussions, and he would write chowder. He started to write chowder based on me, and so we were just talking about Katamari Damacy. Like we had talked about it. Like we were just like saying how much we enjoyed the games, and then like he'd written an episode based about it. Like he also put hints that chowder likes ketchup, because when I was a kid I adored ketchup. Funnily enough, I rarely eat it now. But, you know, he had put that in there a little bit. But yeah, he based an episode. What for me as a kid felt like. Now, obviously, it's something he's passionate about too, so he wrote something about his passion. But when you're a kid and you have that conversation with the creator of the show, and then like a few weeks later, you know, it's the next episode that you're doing, it felt so personal. Like it felt like, oh my goodness, he wrote this episode based on the fact that me and him like a game, you know, and we had talked about it. And so I really cherish that episode, and I love that episode so much, and it's hilarious. Like that episode is such a weird like fever dream, because it has like this. It starts with Chowder eating a piece of gum, and you hear like the faint screams of the damned, and then it ends with Chowder rolling up the entire world. And then you see like the stars and everything, and it just the gum becomes the whole world. And then Chowder picks it up and eats it, and that's how so it has a full loop, it comes back full circle, and it's like this weird existential cosmic horror type stuff, and I love that so much. It's so weird and goofy, but it's such a great episode. Easily my favorite.
Yeah, me and you have similar tastes, so that's why we get along so well, because of the cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about the lore of the Chowder world? Like, have you ever because it's just a city that's kind of floating, but there's a whole world there. But what's outside? Have you ever asked them, like, hey, what's outside the walls of here? Like, what goes on past this?
I never did, but I like to think it's just like terrible things. It's just horrificness. It has to be. It's like, I don't know. like the lore of Chowder is horrifying when you actually think about it. Like there's what those people go through, and like just like the world itself is so creepy. But I love it. You know, it's so. But it's like creepy in a fun way.
Yeah, it's like disturbing.
That's the best.
It's disturbing, but still fun.
Exactly, and that's what makes that show so hilarious. Is like you watch some of the episodes, it's like, oh yeah, this really is terrifying. There's no other way around it. This is just genuinely terrifying, but it's great. It's so great.
Yeah, but you know what the funny thing is, that it really encapsulates a kid too. Like it really shows how a kid would act, because I have a kid, so I watch it with my daughter, and I watched the bank scene, and like that's probably one of my favorite things. When would I like that's something a kid does, and like everything that Chowder does is in the realm of being a kid. Like it's never like, nah, that's not something a kid would do. It's like, no, that's something exactly what a kid would do. And I think the world too that you see through is kind of through the eyes of Chowder a little bit too, because it's very playful.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely, and I 100% agree with that, and I think that actually was a lot of like the reasons why like Carl actually took the time to have conversations with me. He took the time to really like get to know me and understand how I thought, so that he could, you know, obviously he's such a great writer, and I don't think I helped him in too many ways, but he absolutely tried to get insight on how I thought about things, and how, you know, how a kid my age, because, you know, at the time me and Chowder were like the same age or whatever, so people go, oh, can you do the voice? It's like, well, it's a little difficult because it's I wasn't doing a voice then, you know. Like Chowder. For all intents and purposes, is actually quite the easy job because Carl based Chowder so much around me that I really didn't have to do too much acting, if I'm entirely honest. Now, I had to nail line delivery, and that can be difficult. But as far as like becoming somebody else, I really didn't have to do too much of it because I mean, he wrote that character so close to who I actually was, which was kind of awesome.
Was there any vocal training involved, or did you just go for it and you just kind of learned across the way?
I remember getting vocal training when I was like training to be an actor, like when I was doing acting classes and stuff, which I did do. I wouldn't say classically trained because I only did like child acting classes and stuff, but there was vocal stuff involved with that. Now, how much did I actually remember and take that with me to do Chowder? I'm not sure, but as far as vocal training, I don't think there was too much in the way of that other than just like naturally training my voice to be able to scream as much as I did, which, you know, is hilarious, seeing how much I, you know, love metal music now and all that good stuff.
Yeah, if you didn't know, Nick's a huge metalhead. He's a bigger metalhead than I am, and you've done a couple features too.
Yes, I did. I did one for Netherwalker and Sajin, two great. Netherwalker is like a technical deathcore band, and then Sajin is like a technical death metal band. So
there's a whole discussion around Netherwalker right now. A bunch of the deathcore.
Oh, I know.
It's so funny. I'm just like, dude, it's music. Just like, who cares? Like, if he wants to snarl and growl, it sounds cool. Just leave him alone.
I know, right? Everyone, that new song, everyone's going like, "Is this really metal vocals?" I mean, well, y'all loved it whenever Nicky Allen was doing it for Infant Annihilator, so I don't know why you guys don't like it now. It's very strange.
It's just like, because it's not deathcore, and like, what's deathcore anymore? Like, deathcore hasn't been the same for the last 10 years, let's face it.
Yeah, it's just all, you know, people just like to, you know, get on. The metal stuff is just
metal's metal. As long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
And then so I mean, and you're a fucking great vocalist, like a really, really good vocalist. Like,
thank you. I attribute all of it to screaming and Chowder.
You know, and even at the young age, like, you could hear some of the sick vocals that you did have. Like, there was gnarly highs that you did for like, and then I'm like, damn, dude. Even at a young age, he was just slaying it.
Well, see, and the best part is that they, there are episodes that, because even back when I was a kid, when I was like, because my brother had gotten me into like metalcore and deathcore when I was such a young age. Like I was listening to like All That Remains and Suicide Silence and stuff like that when I was like 8 and 9, like while recording, because those bands were getting real popular when I was around that age, and my brother was listening to them, and I thought my brother was the coolest person in the world, so anything he would listen to, I'd listen to, and so I got into that stuff real young, and they like, I didn't talk about it extensively with everybody, but I mean, I'd bring it up to like Carl every now and then, and he found it funny that I, at that such young age, you know, listened to what he called scary music, but he even put that in there, like in the Fire Breather episode. You know, it's very like there's like a rock ballad in there, and there's like metal artwork cover of like Chowder being a barbarian, and then in the Sleepwalker episode, there's a part where Chowder's like werewolf Chowder's like headbanging to like, you know, rock music and stuff, and then in the car wash episode when they're at the mall, Chowder's all gothed out. You know, he's all goth and metal looking. It's because I'd never really like dressed all super duper goth or anything when I was a wee lad. That now I dress in all black and metal shirts and stuff, adult goth. But like Carl knew that I liked that type of music, and so he, you know, put it in like wherever he could, which is again one of those awesome things that Carl is. And it's so funny because I'm like the only person on the planet that calls him Carl. Everyone else knows him as C.H. Greenblatt. Carl pays attention. He actively gets to know the people that he's working with, and he pays attention. And it's awesome that he fit all that stuff in where he could. And again, very, very appreciative of that.
Yeah, sorry, I just cough. Yeah, he's done some really good works. He's worked on a lot of cool things, and it's cool that you got to like work with him. Didn't he do some work for like Billy and Mandy and stuff like that too?
Yes, I believe he did some producing and maybe storyboard work, but he also voiced a character in there too, which is awesome.
Dude, that's so fucking cool. Like you essentially got to work with a lot of really just powerful voice actors, which is awesome. And now that you've done that, you're doing cons now, right? You're actually like
yeah. I'm actually doing that stuff now, and it's super duper fun, and it's really like just so rewarding because for the longest time, I didn't think, chowder was something I never even really thought about. It is something that was just kind of like a funny, like, literally for the longest time in my life, it was just like a funny tidbit about me, like with people that I knew. Like, it's so great. You were in a show when you were younger, and now it's like I have like the ability to have the interactions with fans where they're saying all these incredible things, and I have a fridge full of like awesome fan art and stuff, and it's really crazy, and it's like, oh my goodness, I guess I did do something pretty cool when I was younger, and it's awesome to see that people still watch the show and still really like it, and again, super duper appreciative of all the love and everything. It's really cool.
I mean, we became friends because I fangirled a little bit. I was like, oh, this motherfucker vocals, and then like I made that video about you, and you actually reached out to me, and then we became friends, and now I just know you as Nick, but everybody knows you as Chowder, and I was like, hey, you were such a cool dude, is what I'm trying to get at, is like you are really a nice and humble person, like the Chowder persona fits you, like the dude that you voiced as a kid still like fits you, because Chowder is ultimately just a nice guy. Like he's goofy as shit, but he's ultimately just like a sweetheart that doesn't want a girlfriend.
Well, I failed at that, but I try my best to be as nice and as caring and compassionate as I possibly can be, and especially to people that, because I've while I haven't had like very many, I've had interactions with people that I've looked up to where it hasn't been super duper great, or it's been very, very dismissive and stuff, and I never ever want to be that to anybody. Now I'm just gonna say it, I can't guarantee I'm gonna get back to your messages on Instagram and stuff, because it's like destroyed my inboxes and stuff like that, but like I try to do my best on that sort of thing. And
I couldn't imagine what your inbox looks like, dude.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Every single time I log into something, it's just like, you have 99 plus more notifications. I'm like, oh boy.
You're like, neat. I can't wait to spend my whole day going through these.
And it's funny because I try to like limit myself on social media anyway, just because I think it's it just promotes brain rot at this point. So it's like I try not to be on there too much anyway.
Yeah, so if you're gonna go see Nick, just go to a con and meet him. Here you go.
That's that. I mean, as silly as it sounds, and I'm not even trying to like be that guy, but like that really is about the best way to do it, because you're gonna have the best interaction there. Because I mean, my lovely lady / handler has to typically tell people, all right, time to you've been talking to this person for like 10 minutes. We got a line. We gotta move forward, because that's how I am. I love to talk to people, and I like to give people the best if I can. It's even at my level, I'm aware that it's such a privileged position to be in, and I never ever want to take it for granted. So it's like I want to make sure that every person that is willing to come see me at a convention, which is so crazy, gets the best interaction possible.
Oh, dude, I can't wait till we hang out in real life, because I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I'm also gonna show up to a con and stand and pay to meet you, because I respect what you do, and I want to support what you do, because you're awesome, and that's how you're gonna make your bag, dude. Like that's how like that's how I support artists now that like don't really, aren't in their craft anymore. I'll go to like cons and meet them and be like, I love doing this or do that, and like get your bag. I think that I can't wait to see you in big bold letters at a bunch of cons and people freaking out. That's what's gonna happen. Like people are gonna be like, the voice of Chowder is gonna be here. Oh, I fucking loved that show when I was a kid, and you're gonna have a line out the fucking door.
No, it's pretty great. The first one I did was so like remarkable, and I wasn't expecting to, I've always had that sort of thing about myself where I think I don't know, I guess I always have a bad habit of underselling myself pretty often, so it's like I wasn't expecting too many people to show up, and I was like surprised that like each day we actually had like a line. And also not to I was next to Bam Margera. Like he was right next to me, which was insane and so cool. And he was also super duper nice. And like, I guess he's for a while there. Apparently he wasn't too great, but then he got sober. And every day he was like, came up to me, shook my hand, was like, hey, hope you have a good day. And he even like. On Saturday, whenever we were both having a little bit of a lull, he came by my booth and was like looking at all the storyboards and like flipping through them. And was like, "Man, it's so cool! You saved all this shit, man!" Like he was so. And I grew up on Viva La Bam and like Jackass and stuff, so like he's always gonna be one of my heroes. Despite his weird lifestyle sometimes. I know he's a lot better now, but despite all the stuff in the past, he'll always be someone who I'm gonna fangirl over a little bit. So the fact that he was like being super duper nice and really cool with me, and his handler and everything was a really cool guy, and they're all just that was a great experience just being next to him, and like there are times where my line would be longer than his. I'm like, yeah, I fucking made it, son. No. Well, I mean, so silly, but
like it's not silly. I mean, you that was a good show, but it also was on TV. You were on Cartoon Network, which I feel like reached a lot more people than Bam Margera did. Like, yeah, I get like the cultural zeitgeist for him, and like he's a cool dude, and I'm glad that you had that experience. That is super awesome. But realistically, like looking at it, like Chowder was bigger than that. Like for a hot minute, like. I remember when Chowder dropped, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is fucking weird. I like this shit. This is great. So
very strange show.
It is a very strange show, and like all the turmoil that Bam has gone through hasn't really helped his image either. So like you've never.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
You've never beaten anybody up with a skateboard. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm glad.
I've never come up with again. I love Bam Margera, but I've never come up with my own mathematics and language and wanted Dr. Phil to teach me the secrets of the universe or whatever. But hey, if we keep on going, maybe I can get into drugs and we can do the same thing. No, I'm kidding. But maybe one day I'll be there.
It's just like I call you one day. You're like, Nick. You gotta stop at the gas station.
Not now, Dipper. I found the secrets to Atlantis.
There's nothing there. It's just a desert. That's what you think.
It's here. You just have to look with your third eye. Come on.
So since we're on the subject of conspiracies, is there a conspiracy that you fully believe is real?
Oh man.
I know. Questions.
I believed in Jesus for the longest time. Is that a conspiracy? Kinda.
For not riling a whole group of people, we'll just leave it unquestioned. But from my point, yeah, that's a very big conspiracy.
I go back and forth every now and then. I like to what is it, the shroud of something.
I don't know. It makes it fun though. I want to see what the Vatican has hidden in their fucking vaults. I bet it's some weird shit.
Religious stuff is so intriguing to me. And by the way, I would like say I have nothing against anybody that believes that stuff. It's been in my life so long that I could never ever hate it. So it's like I just find it so intriguing and so interesting because it's like there is stuff that has happened that you're like, well, how does that happen? How did that happen? Like it makes you think. You're like, oh man, like the shroud thing I'm thinking of is like this. It's like the thing that I guess was like the layer of cloth that was laid on Jesus when he died, and somehow and like I looked into it a little bit, and it's like somehow it has an impression of him, and it's not died. Like scientists have studied it, like reputable scientists have studied it, and even they go, yeah, we don't know. It's just there. We don't know how it got there. We don't know. It's like, that stuff is so interesting to me. And of course, there's good ones like the pyramids, man. Oh my goodness! See, now you got me started. Now the pyramids, bro. I want to know those pyramids, man. Those are.
Did you see the new conspiracy that just came out? That just dropped about it? It's great.
Was it about the? Now the latest one I heard was that they were generators of some kind. They found like more. They found another level or another more floors beneath the pyramids, and they're saying it's like, again from what I've heard, is that that they were potentially like generators of some kind. Like, oh come on, that's so cool.
That is cool. You want to hear the new one now?
What is it? What is the new one?
That there's 4 large cylinders that go down, that there's staircases that wrap around them, what they think, and there's a very, very bottom level. It's wild, dude. It's like 4 pillars that go down from the bottom of the pyramid down like 500 feet or some crap like that. And it looks like there's staircases that go down. That's the new one that just dropped.
Oh man.
TikTok's a blade.
Like why? Why is that there? Why is that like that? And it's like
it's a spaceship. It's
like right? And I love the idea that I'm like a big ancient civilization guy. I love the idea that there were once people that had figured it out before us, like millions of years ago, they had figured it out, and now we're like things like the pyramids and all the Aztec stuff, like that was just relics of once ancient, highly advanced civilizations. I love that crap. Now, is there any weight to any of it? Probably not, but I like to believe that's awesome. I love to believe in like ancient civilizations and shit like that. That's my jam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Like my favorite conspiracy is like, I don't know how much I believe, but like that we were once a great civilization and then some calamity happened and the world reset. Cool.
That's it. That's the one that I will take to my grave. Again,
it makes total sense.
Is there any evidence of it? Not really, but it's so cool to think about it. You know, like I'm obviously a big Monster Hunter guy. A lot of people know that about me, and that's like the secret lore of that game is that there's an ancient civilization, which in the new game finally get a little bit of that.
Ooh.
But that's like my favorite stuff. I don't know why, and it's so silly because it's like. Does it change anything? Does that information change anything about today? No, not really. Not as much as like an all like powerful being, which I still think would be fucking cool if real. I'm gonna be if presence made itself made it self-aware or like let everyone know that it existed, I wouldn't be like, I still don't believe it. I'm willing to change my mind on things, but I love the idea of an ancient civilization because you're right, because it doesn't like actually change how we live our lives today, but it's so interesting because then it's like, well shit, well then I guess it does change one thing, which is the outlook of you can be as advanced or as build up your civilization as much as possible, but it can all come to an end. What is that asteroid that's going to hit us in 2030 or could potentially hit us in 2030 something or other? Like that's a great little thing to know about. Like, you could be hanging around, making all the cool spaceships and all this crazy technology, and then the cosmic sneeze can obliterate, a giant city or something.
Yeah, isn't it like an asteroid like the size of a football field can wipe out the entire planet or some wild shit like that?
It is startling how small an asteroid has to be to fuck everything up.
Yeah, it's not as big as you think. It's not like the size of a city. It's like the size of a football field. It's very in grand scale. It's very tiny compared to everything on Earth that it could wipe us out and just that's cool. Neat. That's,
and if not the world, at like a fucking big old part of it. Is that there could be a big old part of the world that's just uninhabitable for the next foreseeable future. It's crazy.
Oh, by the way, this is what we normally talk about. Like, this is a normal conversation between.
This has devolved into just us like talking, like how we normally do. Absolutely.
That's why I was like, there's a co-host that's with us, that's with Sick Invite, and I was hoping he was going to be here. He got lost in the void somewhere. He's doing something, but like, I was just like, I hope you're here, because like me and him are friends, so it's just going to divulge into be like, yeah, what about Chowder? And you're like, Chowder, and I'm like, yeah, Bambi, and you're like, Bambi too, and I'm like, that's awesome. And you're like, well, now what about conspiracies? Have you heard next? Which is fine, because they get to see like a different side of you that like I see on like a daily basis, where I'm like, hey, you here?
No, it's so great. No, I'm happy to do that, because it's and that's the type of stuff that we chill out and talk about.
And that's what Sick Invite is. It's just like, hey, like, just come on and just tell me what you want to tell me. I have a few questions to ask you, but then other than that, like, what do you want to talk about? And some people are like, I want to talk about race cars. I'm like, let's talk about race cars then. Like, that's like, I don't want to make you do anything that you want to do, because like when you get, I feel like you've done interviews where you've had to be like, you get asked the same question like 90,000 times, and you're like, yeah, blah blah blah. Yippity doo. I mean, I imagine not so much anymore, but probably as a kid. Did you do a lot of interviews as a kid?
No, the interview thing is all adulthood. I did. I think I've done 2 interviews in my whole life, and they're both as an active actor. I've done 2 interviews, and they're both at the same event, which is at the Annies. Whenever I was a presenter at the Annie Awards. In 2010, I want to say.
Oh, I can find video of that. Probably could.
There does exist one, I think. I want to say, but
I'll look it up when I'm editing it, and I'll just stop real quick and put like a quick clip up and be like, there it is. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, I did 2 interviews on the red carpet for that, which is cool. I got to actually go to a red carpet event.
That's actually fucking really cool. How was that? How was being a presenter at a red carpet event?
Oh man, it was horrifying, dude. That shit is so much worse than the record. People are like, oh man, did you ever get nervous in the booth? Never. There is so much confidence when you are working with a crew that you like. Even in like the beginning, I never felt like there was obviously times where it's like I wanted to make sure that I did good and everything, but like actually recording stuff is so easy compared to like live presenting and stuff, and like, oh my goodness. It's funny too, because I for the longest time thought I messed up somehow. I for the longest time thought I misspoke, but then I saw video footage of it and I was like, oh, I actually didn't. It's the Annie Awards 2010, and it was so... The red carpet was fun, and seeing all like... Oh man, yeah, because it was like right after Chowder Rap too. So seeing all like my like John DiMaggio, Tara Strong, and Dwight, and seeing all those people like again was so great, and just talk with them, and I'm sure there's pictures of. I want to say there should be pictures of all of us together at the Annie Awards. I can't remember if there are or not, but I remember me and John hamming it up at the red carpet, which was so cool. I love the. I remember I saw Dwight inside. He was on the red carpet. Or I think he went before me. But like me and John went like right at the same time, and oh man, he was such a great dude to be hamming it up with at a red carpet event. It was the coolest thing ever. But then actually presenting was horrifying. It was way more people than I thought it was going to be. Like, it was a proper, like, even though it's not televised, it was a proper award. It's a proper award show, like the Emmys or like the Oscars or something like that. It's the same like amount of people and same caliber. It's just it's not televised. But oh man, it was horrifying, and I got to lose to Tom Kenny, which was well deserved because I mean, come on, the reason. So, also, funny thing about it was that the show was hosted by William Shatner. Now, every other year before then, it was hosted by Tom Kenny. And if you're hosting, you cannot be a nominee. I actually don't really know why, but whatever. So this was his first time actually being nominated for Best Voice Actor. So he won, well deservedly. But the cool thing was, is since I was a presenter, William Shatner got to say my name, which was great.
That is awesome. I mean, and it's Tom Kenny. Like it's fun.
Oh, I was expecting to lose. Expecting to lose.
That's still cool. You were fucking nominated with Tom Kenny.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh,
I just bought the SpongeBob drop for Magic the Gathering because that's how.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
For people who don't know this, Nick likes to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. I've watched him play countless hours of.
Oh, okay. I want to point out something. I barely play Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. I have my best buddy Caleb play for me. Basically, he tells me what to do.
He's a great dude,
I'm not. I understand my deck's engine. I run an Exodia / Horus deck. I understand the engines of the deck with a little bit of Brand of Flame or Brand of something or other. I understand the engines, and I understand my deck and understand how to basically win with my deck, but as far as like understanding how cards go together and stuff, I still don't know jack and shit from Yu-Gi-Oh! But I try.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fucking hard, dude. I watched you guys he's explained it to me a couple of times, and I was like, I still don't fucking stand, dude.
Dude, it's and unlike pretty much every other card game, it's one of the it might be the. I'm sure there's other card games that do this too, but it's one of the very few card games that don't have a rotation for like tournament play and like what's currently in rotation. Every card, obviously they have a ban list, but you can still legally play cards from in like top level tournament play. You can play cards from 1996 or whatever, or 1990, whatever, whenever Yu-Gi-Oh! First came out. I think it was 99 actually. I don't know. But you can play those cards, and some of them, like Exodia, are still really good.
See, yeah, I can't do it. Like I've tried. I'm just gonna stick with Magic. You know, I'm gonna make you a chowder proxy deck where it's just you take.
There you go.
I'm just gonna put chowder things on them and be like, here, now you have to play. You have to play your chowder.
Somebody actually here. I'll send this to you because you're gonna love this. And you could put it on screen when editing if you wanted, but somebody actually made Magic the Gathering cards. They're existing Magic the Gathering cards, but they used chowder stills for them, like stills from the show. So let me see.
That's amazing. I will put those up.
And I do not have them, and they were for him. Like he didn't like. I think I signed one of them.
Oh, that's such a good fucking idea. Yeah, and my commander.
But he showed them to me, and it was amazing.
Listen here, my commander is signed by Chowder now, so I'm going to hit you for 20 commander damage from Chowder.
Oh, I know. It really is like that. Hold on.
That would be me.
Pictures. It's so awesome.
That's cool.
And I love stuff like that. Like I think that stuff is so freaking cool.
What's the coolest piece of fan art you've ever gotten? What's something that absolutely blew your mind?
Without a doubt, the thing that I'm using as my Discord icon. It's actually, I have it as a print on my refrigerator. It's the my picture is Gordon Ramsay with Chowder.
That's so cool. That is, yeah, I can see it. I'll snatch it. I'll snatch it.
Such a great, and I have a high quality photo of that.
Oh, Ravagers of War. Oh, that's a good. Oh, that's such a fucked up card. Destroy all creatures. Wrath of God. Price of Glory. Oh, dude. City. Yeah, that's. Man, he just made that deck to make people mad, didn't he? I'm guessing he did. Like those are messed up cards, and that is amazing. I can't wait to throw this up on screen to show people. That is proxy cards like that are funny. Like they're really good. I wonder if he just cut out pictures and put them on there. Like I'm thinking too hard about this now.
I think they're actually printed on there, but I think he just got the stills and then like printed, like actually just because people can do that. People just get like card.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole scummy underseated belly of the card world about reprinting cards and whatnot. So.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not like into Pokemon. Pokemon sounds like one of the worst hobbies to ever be in the right
that
now.
Stuff. Okay, so the funny thing is I do not collect cards, but I love like watching like card videos on, and I don't even play besides Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit. I barely play card games, but for some reason I like collected Pokemon cards when I was younger, and I used to collect Digimon cards, so I still am very interested in card games. So I'm all up in like card news and stuff. And did you see the whole thing with the like? It was they were like beta and prototype cards from Pokemon that I want to say, I don't want to get it wrong, but I want to say CGC was doing like graded like beta and alpha cards from Pokemon, which are super duper rare, and there's really not much information on them, but somehow CGC got a hold of a whole bunch of these things and graded them and were selling them. And then people went into like, I guess with printers they have like metadata for like, I guess it's like a government thing too, where it's like, so documents can be traced on like when exactly, like what month they were printed. And some guy, but it's really like you have to you have to get like microscopes and figure out like and decode like it's like these little dots that are on the thing. And some guy did the forensic like investigation and found out that a lot of the cards, not all of them, some of them actually were legit, but a lot of the cards were printed in 2024. These things that were supposed to be from like 93 or like 95, like before the Pokemon trading card game even came out, were like in the metadata of the printer that was used to print them was actually like 2024 or something, like June of 2024.
Because I imagine if they were legit, they might not have any metadata because they'd be too old to carry anything like that. But 2004.
But that's the thing. That they started. The printers had started like doing that stuff since like the 80s, since like color printers existed.
Oh, for months.
It was a thing that yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like all they are is just these really tiny microscopic dots that are in a pattern. It's so that for forensic investigation, you can see exactly when something was printed. But it only works on, but it's only for like color printers and stuff. So, but in some of the cards, they actually were like printed in 96 and 97. So some of them were legit, but a lot of them were not.
That's so fucking wild. That's so crazy. That's such a crazy thing. Like, hey.
And I guess after that information came out, CGC had to halt all sales of those cards.
I wonder if they knew, or it was just like.
I see. That's another fun conspiracy theory. It could go either way for me. I think I'm 50-50 because at the same time, like. The pessimistic side of me wants to be like, oh, they totally knew. They were in on it from the beginning. But then the other part of me, the more caring side, would be like, well, honestly, though, it'd be so... unless you were like... it's such a freaking hard thing to find, and you really got it. Like the individual that did all the investigation had a lot of time in their hands, and they were very, very thorough. It's such an easy thing to just miss. Like, so if they didn't know, I would totally understand that. If it came up they had no knowledge of it, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. But then also on the other side, if it came out that they totally knew about it, I'd be like, that doesn't surprise me either. Like, it is what it is.
You're like, hey. You know what? But I feel like it's just one dude inside the company. Like, the company didn't know, and, like, the one dude knew, and he's like, fuck it, let's see what we can do. And then he pushed it.
Because here's the thing, and the reason why, and here's a terrible argument. Well, it's like, well, why would anyone in CGC even think about doing that? It's not worth it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you can turn a literal worthless piece of cardboard into a $1 million card, kind of sort of is worth it. Unfortunately, with how TCGs are, and especially how Pokemon is, counterfeiting in Pokemon is unfortunately worth it if you can get away with it even for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
because it is so crazy right now.
People go apeshit for these cards. Like I've watched full-grown men fight each other for packs of cards, of Pokemon cards, and I'm just like,
I know, me too. Those videos are great and sad, very, very sad, because it is something. At the end of the day, something meant for
children,
a kid. Yeah, a kid to enjoy, and here you got these fucking grown-ass men punching each other at Costco for Pokemon cards.
That's why I'm glad to be at Magic, because it's like, it is for adults. It's made for
13 and up. It's specifically for teenagers and up.
Yeah, and I don't have to worry about scalpers because no one gives a shit. Oh, I mean, they care about the secret layer drops. Like, there's this huge bundle. I like to call it the scalpers bundle on the Secret Layers website for SpongeBob and all the new ones they put out. And that $2,000 bundle sold out within like 10 minutes. Like
that's crazy.
That's the first thing that sold. It was $2,000, mind you, for like 8 different sets of cards that were like between 7 and 8 cards each. Like, that's not a lot of cards.
The Magic the Gathering market is so strange, especially ever since they started adding all like the serialized cards and all the crazy, like, they've gone insane with the amount of like special decks and special like card drops for different IPs and everything. It's crazy, the crossovers now. Like, who could forget the One Ring card? Post Malone's $1 million card.
Money now. That's how they're like, hey, you nerd, and I'm like, what? And they're like, we have Fallout, and I'm like, fuck, okay. Guess I'll play Magic.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It is funny. It is funny though, because I actually used to, like, again, I never ever invested in it or really took too much into it, but I've actually always been like very, very interested in the vintage, like the classic Magic market. And ever since all this crazy shit came out, the classic, the vintage Magic, like your Black Lotuses and your like Mox Pearls, all that shit has been so stagnant now because no one cares about it. I mean, they'll still always have value, but like they're not growing anymore like they were. They were growing like crazy for the longest time, and now it's just been stagnant for almost like 3 or 4 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah, the serialized cards are worth like $3,500. It's ridiculous if you pull one, but you still have to buy a collector's pack, which is like anywhere from $30 to $40.
Yep.
And then if it gets really popular, the collector's packs go up to like $80. It's insane what the market is, and they fluctuate.
Oh, I know.
Like the stock market. The fucking Magic cards fluctuate like a stock market.
Like popular card games, I would say Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think One Piece is the fourth in the big four now. It really is investing. It really is just like the stock market. It absolutely is. It is 100%. Like, I always joke around saying like people who play Magic, Pokemon, One Piece, Digimon, all that stuff. Digimon, that one's not popular yet. Yu-Gi-Oh. You're day traders. That's what you are. Basically speaking, I mean, like, it's what you are. As long as you keep your stuff in good condition, like most people do nowadays, because everyone knows the value of these things now. Like, you're day trading, man. That's how it is.
This was the sound of my my rare binder. Just flopping through pages. Oops, and I just dropped them on the ground.
Don't do that.
My wife in the background's like, "Wow."
I heard it.
That's why they're in the binder, to keep them safe and protected.
So you can just throw that binder across the room. You're good to go, buddy.
Yeah, it's made out of dragon scales.
Oh, there you go. Dragon Shield, more like.
Dragon Shield. I do. I have a new pack of Dragon Shields that are gold.
See, there you go.
I don't fucking know what it is. I like gold.
One of these days, though, I always tell Caleb, my best buddy, that I will get a physical version of my online deck that I use.
And then you'll come out to Arizona and you'll be like, check out my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'll be like, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Also, the weird thing is with Yu-Gi-Oh is that there's not a set amount of cards in a deck. It's 40 through 60.
That's so weird.
And then you have an extra deck that you can have, like, I think up to 15 cards in. It's so strange, bro.
What does the extra 15 cards do?
The extra deck is for like the extra cards that you want to. Oh, see, fucking here I go trying to explain shit I don't know. From what I gather, it's basically a backup engine. Like it's very, very strange, and only certain cards can go on the extra deck, and I don't know what the fuck makes a card available to an extra deck, but basically it's like an extra 15 cards to fall back on that's doing certain things in the game, allows you to pull from the extra deck.
So is Yu-Gi-Oh just Kingdom Hearts? Is that like is
oh Jesus.
like,
I hope not.
Legally lost on like how you play this. Is like you play a card and then you fuse with this other card. How'd they fuse? And they're like, I don't know, and I'm like, that's yay! I don't know what's going on.
That's the most difficult thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like whenever you pull a new rare card, you're like, oh yeah, and then you're like, oh shit, I got a paragraph to read to figure out what the hell this card does.
And then it can only fuse with certain cards, right? Like, does it have?
Of course, like certain, and then anything. So anything that's a 4-star or below, you can just normal summon. Just like, I put this in attack position, yada yada yada. But anything else that is 5 or above typically it has to be a special summon, which means there's special prerequisites you have to meet to special summon them. So it's like with Exodia, the 5 pieces of Exodia, you can summon just a leg or an arm or the head if you want, and it will do jack and shit for you. Or you can use the Golden Ankh to use all 5 pieces to then summon the 10 or 12 star version of the Exodia card. That then, if you attach certain other cards to it, because when you here we go. When you summoning Exodia isn't just enough because it's a 0/0 card. It has no attack, no defense. So you have to summon these other special cards to it, like Obliterate and Fires of Exodia and all this crap, to then give it the power it needs to then wipe the board. To literally, Obliterate will do 12,000 damage if you have like the particular cards, which, by the way, you have 8,000 health points as a person, as like a thing. So 12,000 will just completely obliterate you. But then Fires of Exodia will completely board wipe the enemy player. Like if they have a bunch of shit set up, and then you could just at any point, as long as Exodia is on the field, play Fires of Exodia if you pulled it and have it attached to it, or if you have it set as a trap card. You can just then go, that move you're about to do kind of sort of scares me. I'm going to wipe out all your progress now. It's ridiculous, dude. It's so crazy.
I feel like getting your...
It's about the only way I can win, because, fucking shit, I don't know how to play that game.
Dude, yeah, I've tried to watch you, so, yeah, that's... I don't know how to process this information. Like, that's a lot.
And again, that's why pretty much every game I play, I have Caleb coaching me through every single game I play, because I forget. He's got that insane, like video. He has been so good at every... I love Caleb, but he's also sometimes very frustrating, because he's so good at every game that you play. He's like a natural born gamer, and so now that he's gotten Yu-Gi-Oh, he's the best person to have. And he's such a great guy to where he's like, as long as I'm having fun doing stuff, I don't mind coaching you the whole way through, because he just remembers everything. He just sees the board, he's like, that's what you need to play, that's what you need to play, that's what you need to play. And it's like, oh my goodness, I cannot, in the sequences of cards, because here's the thing too, and it's so funny to think about. It makes sense for like a video game standpoint, but like whenever you're like doing it in person, it's so fun to think about. You can set cards in the wrong order, and it will fuck your turn up. It will fuck your whole day up. You can cancel yourself. You can negate your own spells. You can even, if you do it right, if you do things in the wrong way, you can even hurt yourself. Like, it's so crazy that there's all this stuff that I just can't remember the order of things half the time, because there's so much shit to it. But he just like, he knows like, oh, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. Or don't do that. You're going to fuck up your whole rotation. And I just don't remember any of it. So he's my secret weapon. He's the only reason I'm able to win, if I'm honest.
Hey, you know what? I've watched you guys play a couple times, and he's explaining it to you, and I'm like listening to him, and I'm like, yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah, and here I am taking the advice and playing the game, and I'm like, and I'm right there with you. Yeah, I still don't get it.
He's like, you're doing it good, and I'm like, I agree with you. I don't know what he's saying, but he sounds like he knows what he's.
It's also amazing too because he's so good at predicting whenever people are just going to surrender. Like he calls it every single time. He's like, and then you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and then they're probably gonna just surrender. And I do this, I do that, and then they surrender. It's like, what the fuck?
Are you playing against actual people?
Yeah, all those times where you've seen me and Caleb fucking around and, him explaining that shit to me, those are people. Those are actual people. I was
just hanging out. I thought you guys were like doing like training or something like that. Oh,
no. We're actually, whenever you hang out with us, we're typically doing like events and stuff. That's like, I play a little bit of the ranked whenever there's no events going on, but I mainly prefer just the events because they're like a lot funner. And it's the problem with ranked is you keep playing, you keep doing good, you fight harder and harder people. Well, I don't want that. I want to fight. I want to fight dummies all the time. That's the only way I can win.
Yeah, I don't want to fight hard people. I already play like Dark Souls games. Let me just have everything else.
Yeah. Let me get beat up by freaking scary monsters in Monster Hunter, not actual people.
Dude, I've had you on here for an hour and 5 minutes. How does that make you feel?
Oh, dude, I mean, I doesn't even feel like that long, just because, again, it just turned into a normal conversation.
Yeah, now we'll get back on topic, and I'll keep you for like another 15. What was your favorite metal release of this year? Of 2024. Let's do 2024.
Ooh, okay. Let me... Because I kind of sort of stopped doing those metal TikToks just because I've sort of want to enjoy the music for what it is nowadays, but I'll get to them again. But man, probably my favorite release of last year. Oh man, I gotta go into the archives and
oh yeah, you buy a lot of fucking CDs, a lot of CDs.
Yeah, I have a hard time remembering when what came out. Did that one come out last year? Okay, that did come out. The new Fit for an Autopsy was really, really good.
It was very good.
Very melodic and very techy at times. Within the Ruins had a great release. That was a really good one. Oh, actually, I think I do know what my favorite release is. And it's not just because I am friends with the guy behind the band, but I tell you what, man, the new Deathless album that came out last year was so good. Every single one of those songs is on my playlist. I love that band so much, and such good people behind it, and it's just very, very, very melodic and very awesome.
Hell yeah! I bet they'll be stoked to hear that. I'll tag them and be like, "Hey, Chowder really enjoyed you guys." Because that makes me stoked. When you wrote on one of my videos, it was like, yeah, this music's good. I was like, are you like killed by a Yeti? I was like, I squealed with joy a little bit. Who wouldn't? I think this was before we were friends too, so it makes it even better now that you're my friend, that you actually like the music that I made.
Oh no, I love the music you guys make. It's so great. I mean, and
if people actually listen to this, then I'll get to hear it because I don't really tell anybody. But you'll be featured on the next EP.
And this song I'm on is so freaking cool. Like, I've obviously heard the instruments of it, and ooh, man, it's so good. I love it, dude. It's so nice.
I like that you're on the breakdown because that's like the most melodic part, and you're a good vocalist. So I think you're gonna have like I said, you have free reign. Like, I don't give a shit what you do. I know you're gonna.
I'm super stoked about it. It's gonna be a fun time for all, I believe.
But you do want to get into you do want to make music though, don't you? You actually want to be like in a band.
I do. It's definitely the dream job, I think, for sure. I don't know. It's just like I spend so much time listening to music and like just practicing silly vocals, typically in the shower. My downstairs neighbors must think a demon lives with them every now and then, but it's such a huge part of my life, and it's been such a huge part of my life for so long, right? I have a hard time like remembering exactly what got me into it, so it is like the dream job. And I feel like now, especially with like the conventions and stuff, I have a better feel for like a crowd and whatnot, and I'm getting better at like being in front of people and not caring, or not caring, but like, you know, not letting like my nerves get to me and everything. So
I told
the next natural step is clearly has to be vocals.
come out in August. We're gonna play this festival in Arizona, and you can get on stage with me, dude. I'm like,
I would be honored. I would be honored.
Come stay at our house. Me and my wife will feed you and your lady. We'll take good care of you.
Who knows? I might have a convention around there in August. That would be.
I meant October, not August. Why don't I say August?
Oh, that's gonna work out so much better because I actually know I believe I have a convention to do in August here.
Yeah, no, I meant October. So that's my
October so far. I think I know I got some stuff probably set up for September. So, but I don't think I have anything in October set up just yet. So that would work out perfectly, actually.
You know what? This is a perfect segue. What do you have coming up that you would like to promote? I want you to promote your. Is there anything you can any cons that you're going to do? I know you think you have one.
Nothing concrete right now. No green lights just yet. Although they will soon be greenlit. So I don't really want to.
Keep your secrets.
Do too much. Yeah. All right, then. Keep your secrets.
You know what? At least, you know what? At least you'll be able to see you, Nick Jones, the voice of Chowder, somewhere hopefully soon by them.
I will say this. I do believe the next Sajin album comes out next month, and there will be CDs, and yours truly this will be the first time that yours truly will be on a CD, and that's a big deal for me. So I will promote the shit out of that. The first time, the C's Between, the song I'm on, will be on that album. It's a single for the album, and there will be CDs of it, so that'll be the first time that I'm on a CD, and that's a very big deal for me because I have almost 1,000 CDs now, bro. It's getting crazy. I'm gonna need a new shelf soon, and I'm on shelf 4. I'm about to have to buy shelf 5. It's crazy.
You live. I know where you live, and I eventually want to come out there. So one day when I do come out there, I would love to see your CD collection. I would love to rifle through it with you and have you show me.
Oh, dude, that would be so much fun. I've had one other friend who's really into death metal see it, and it's actually like very like I don't know why it's so stupid, but it makes me very happy whenever someone is like going through my CD like, oh my god, you got this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, dude. I don't know, it's so stupid, but I love it.
No, I think that's just the pride of a collector, honestly. Like, I think that you like look at.
Lord knows when I stay at your house, I'm gonna be looking at because I've seen parts of your collection, my friend. Lord knows I'd be like, oh my god, you got this and this and this.
Yeah,
collection yourself.
I like toys. I like toys, and you like.
Oh, I still love toys myself, man. I got a whole bunch of Godzilla stuff that I will never get rid of, probably.
Because me and Nick have spent hours talking about Godzilla. There was one day I was at work. And I saw you were just hanging out in Discord, and I hopped in with you before Caleb got in, and we were talking about Godzilla for about an hour and a half. Like,
yeah, we were.
And wasn't the Singularity Godzilla was like one of the worst designs?
Oh, man. There's the funky, like, Giga Hips Godzilla Singularity.
Thick size, like the Patrick Star meme.
Thickzilla.
It was such a bad design. And that
2 C's, of course. It was crazy.
Yeah, I saw it pop up, and I was like, am I going to watch this? And I was like, no, I can't subjugate myself to this. I know that we spent all that time talking about it, and I was like, I can't bring myself to watch it. It sounds so bad.
Yeah, I got the Godzilla animes have not, and that's not even just me being like I'm not really that big into anime guys, because there are some animes I like, but the 2 Godzilla animes, Godzilla Earth and Singularity Point, there's better stuff you can watch. There's better stuff you can watch.
Well, I mean, you were telling me that the -1 budget for the next Godzilla movie got a bigger budget, right?
Apparently, that's what the director said. Is that -1 did so well, and deservedly so. It's such a great movie that apparently the new movie's budget is substantially bigger. Now, it didn't have a big budget to begin with, so substantially bigger could just, I mean, it still probably won't be anything compared to, like, you know, a fucking Marvel movie or anything like that, but the fact that because I want to say it was, some of the early reports were that it was $20 million or something like that, and the director like came out and said, "Oh no, it wasn't $20 or $20 million. I wish it was $20 million. That would have made our lives a lot easier." So I think the actual reports are like that it was like around 12 million, which is nothing compared to like
Marvel
these
movies.
damn Marvel and Disney movies being like $300 million and stuff. 12 is nothing. And funnily enough, somehow with a $12 million budget, they made it look better than all the Marvel. You know, I'm not like a super duper Marvel hater, but lately those movies have just been crap and not looking all that great and stuff.
I'm looking at something right now because I think please be correct. I think yep. The new Snow White movie has a worse rating than Dragon Ball Evolution. Let's give it up.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. Riley, my girl, she was telling me about that. I was like, ooh.
At the time of this recording, Snow White has a 1.5. I checked, and Evolution has a 2.5. Factually speaking, Dragon Ball Evolution is a better movie than Snow White live action, and they're both like adaptations off animation. Fantastic.
Yeah, man. You know what? I wonder when we're gonna learn that we shouldn't do that anymore. Like, I'm not gonna say anything here nor there about, you know, the politics behind that Snow White movie. But let me tell you something. Every time a live action Disney movie comes out, it seems like it's the same shit of I don't know why I don't know why they tried to capture the magic of the original in a live action. It's like, it's almost like if you made a movie a long time ago and people really like that movie, you should just let people really like that movie. And just leave it at that. Like, it's okay. Like, you can come up with something different. Like, crap, man. Like,
you know what I think about?
Elementals was just fine. It's fine. It's a good movie. It's all right. It's okay.
You know what I think about that is the episode of Chowder, because I get to say this now because I'm talking to Chowder, is that the episode where they ran out of budget and it was just you four sitting there in the booth together. Yeah, that's how I picture those Disney movies. It's just like them, like just not. It just don't work. Like the animation style that they had, like the hand-drawn animation style, will never be beat. It's just how.
The one funny thing I heard about the Snow White movie is that everyone's saying that the costume, like clearly there must have been budget cuts with her costume, because everyone's saying that her, like, Snow White's actual like costume looked like something that looked like a Halloween costume.
It looks like it's
or something Temu. Like that.
It looks like it's from fucking Temu. That's fucking great.
Oh, that's brutal.
Well, before I let you go, because I've had you for an hour and 17 minutes, I hit Nick up. I was like, hey, can I interview you for like 45 minutes?
Yeah.
An hour and 17 minutes later. So, yeah, check out one more time, what was it? Because I have a bad memory.
It is I need to actually get the proper name, but it is the new Sagen album. It should be coming out next month, if I'm not mistaken, or should be coming out soon, and it will be and you should go support it, because number one, Stevie is a fucking great guy. Big Steve, he's a great dude, great musician. He really put his heart and soul into that album, and it was an honor to be a part of the song, and it was so much fun. And it'll also, you know, it's a big deal for me, because it'll be the first time that I'm actually gonna be on a CD, and so I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have a CD of me. It's gonna be crazy, and I'm just very, very proud of it, and very, very appreciative that I get to be part of something like that. And I'm very appreciative that I get to be a part of Killed by a Yeti as well. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you on there, and also we'll probably make a tape of that, so you'll get a tape of it. So,
Woo!
not as cool as the CD, but still a tape because.
Hey, I still got some tapes. I got a few tapes here and there. So.
Well, I love you and thank you.
I love you too, buddy.
Thank you for talking to me for the first episode back of Sick Invite. You can check Nick out. Is there any handles you want to promote? Like, is there?
Just Nick Slayer of Nar with the G on pretty much all my stuff, on everything that exists.
But he's cool and it's fun to watch him do stuff. You can see his gnarly vocals on on your Instagram. That's how I found
Yes, indeed.
It's the first time I saw you. So yeah, check that out. Check out Netherwalker. Check out Agent. He does features on both of them, and then he'll soon be on our stuff. And everybody have a good night.
Yes, indeed. Take care.